What's good, everybody? I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Pop on over near. That going there. Check that out over here. And we're looking good. That's set on live chat. Okay. No promises on that whole thing again. Oh, we got 26 errors today now. 33 to 13 to 26. Without changing a single one of the things that gave me an error. Love it. Okay, so we redid what we needed to do here. And we have this set as the whole system. And we wanted to figure out why doing this in particular was better. Because it works fine now. So let's try to get an idea for that. Okay, how do these start? Okay. We're only activating 3 alarms here. We were activating... Was it 3 before? Yeah, I think it was 3. So we got 0, 2, and 5. This is all the way at the end. Oh, and we hadn't made the second alarm yet. Okay. Okay. Let's put that alarm here. We're gonna keep this one at the end. And cut that out. Go ahead and do that here. And alarm 60, that's 3. Put that here. Okay, so we got those separated. Alright. One thing at a time, I'll make sure this works. Oh, shit. I forgot to hit record. Luckily it wasn't too far into it, only 4 minutes. So, real quick, just for the VOD's sake here, we brought back up our old version, and we just took the 0 souls per second that was originally in here and moved it over here and set it to its own timer. And I'm about to test the stability of that. Okay, I'll call that good on a short stability test. And this was divided, which is what we wanted. Okay. And then we wanted a variable for these cooldowns next. We'll call this soul tick. And we'll give it a base of 60. We will be setting up time sources soon, so they won't be FPS dependent, because that's what they are currently. But we're going to be testing those out and see what kind of performance hit they do. That's going to be that's going to be the next thing I work on once I'm happy with this overall system here. It'll be part of the attack speed rework that we'll be doing. Because if it's too much of a performance degradation, then I have to set up different variables based off of different FPSs that will allow the players to set their game to, so that everything works exactly the same no matter the FPS. I'm hoping I can just do time sources because it will save me code. Theoretically it should, at least. I don't know how they work in this engine 100%, but theoretically that would save me code. But I don't. Sometimes creating time sources can be rather taxing if you have too many. I haven't read on here, though, in the particular engine itself, if it has anything to say about it. Let me see. Time source. Isn't that the time source state? Time source resume time sources. Okay, that looks good so far. You know what, we got time sources up for later. So we have the soul tick there, and that should be something we can change freely. We can change that to 2. That would be our cap, would be 2. If we were to have FPS. Okay. And then if we wanted to drop soul counter down, that would be another variable we could do. So we can do soul counter 1, soul tick 2, and say 100 here, and this would be a fairly min-max way to look at things. Maybe if we want to, we can add a whole another 0 onto each of these and make it 1,000. That's looking pretty good. We can always just adjust to see how, to make it take longer to get to something like this, but that's pretty good right there. That is pretty damn good. It's all something that can be potentially actually got with just enough investment. We'll figure out what that system is going to look like for numbers and all that. we definitely have our fundamental basis here. There we go. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So if we have base values, something like that, we won't notice any bit of a difference. It'll all be the same, and then the player can scale off of that. Their first tick that they're their first points in, we'll give them a 50%, which will make it feel really good for the first one they get. From there, there is degradation, but it still can scale very high. Or it still has meaning behind it to scale. There we go. And then the natural slowdown of our normal system. Very nice. So this will make a player, if they really want to test how far they can go, they're going to have to, of course, account for time then, unless they want to constantly do saves and reloads or just leave it running all the time. But they're going to have to think about how to engage with systems like this to increase the rate at which they level so that they can do the runs faster as well. So it'll add another dynamic into endless missions on figuring out how to appropriately min-max them. Okay. How do I want to do this? We have a lot of these things that aren't set as globals. We could make a separate file for this, because we're going to need to save a lot of variables here. Well, not a lot, but we're going to need to save these 4 variables and allow the player to then be able to level them and such. So that's what we're currently looking at right now. I typically would just have it created at the beginning of the game. I guess maybe I could place in dummy ones. That is an idea. I could place in dummy ones and have these saved to the file. So essentially what we would do with that, so we can come in here, copy that, right? And I believe that may have been room creation. Right? I really hate tying things to room creation. I might even just tie this out from some. Yeah, this is a room creation. I might tie this out of room creation and into an object just to set it. I think that might be my play right there. I don't really like room creation. It's very performance hindering, at least with this engine. I try to steer away from putting things in room creation, so that the maps load up faster and such. And then I can have other things to delay the player from immediately accessing the game, in the way of like menus and stuff like that. so that the other things can do whatever they may need to do. That may take like a second or two to load up. Object. You okay? Okay. What are we gonna call you? Fast scale stat. Sure, why not? Oh, actually, got this object. Main menu load. Object player base file. There, that one's actually better. I like that one more. Okay. 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 We can get rid of you. And place you over here. I'm gonna open up you here just so I can look at you. And we have bot stuff here, and let's see, put you up here instead of bot. We're gonna call you, what are we gonna call you? Who are you? Who are you? Fast scaling. We can call you fast scaling. And we'll do that. And that. We need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay. And I'm just gonna literally call them the same thing, because it's not really relevant. I guess we'll go a little more detailed with it there. Just because we can. We'll leave that one under there like that. Okay. Main menu, assets. That is not going to be the right layer. I can tell you that much right now. Can I Thank you. There we go. Alright, so we look at you here like that. Now, what I want to do next would be come over here. Oh, wrong fucking place. Find my app data, local, alpha. We're going to delete player base because this will only read if it's not in existence. So we're going to go ahead and make sure it's not in existence. We're going to load up our game. Boom. Now, okay, let's go ahead and show you all the file. Where is player base? Why is the game way up there? My apologies, I forgot I moved it up there earlier. Okay. So as you can see here, we have our fast scaling sector. We have our soul counter set at 100. We have our soul tick set at 60. And we have player XP at 1 and enemy XP set at 1. Which was our base values. So that's exactly what we were looking for. So that all saved over correctly and we're good on that end. So now that we know it is saving there, and it is a value that will be loaded, in a sense, at least saved into the beginning of the game, we now can work on other parts of the situation. There we go. We now can come over here and we want to grab that. Open. We're gonna do read, of course, and then we're gonna close and kinda section key remains blank, default will remain blank, and variable you can remain blank too. We have this set as number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Give me one moment. My headphones just getting crazy on me with the cord. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Wait, no, that wasn't what I needed. I needed... Hey, Sci-Fi, how you doing, man? How's your throat? You taking anything for it as well? Okay, guaranteed to exist. So grab that. And then... what did I do with this? Read, write, read, write. All this so that I can copy pasta easier. Are you sure it's easier, Baker? I don't know at this point. Write, read, write, read, write, read, write, read. Okay, we're good. Look at that. I do things. Jesus Christ. Oh. 100. Feels a lot better. Just some vitamins and minerals and water. Don't want to take cold medicine. I hear you. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. Maybe try some hot tea with honey if you have any. Game's going well. We actually are working on a faster scaling system for the player and the enemy that you will actually be able to invest points into for different value or different things to increase that ability to increase the levels or to scale faster. Essentially what we have set up is it calculates your kills, or essentially kills per second, and if it meets a criteria that you'll be able to set as the player in your actual, you'll be able to set the thing lower and lower, so you'll need less kills to actually activate it. It will actually set the XP to level for each of the player and the enemy to their own unique values. That will be over here, and there'll be just a division of it. They'll start at 1, and then you get 2 at 50%, and you just keep going up from there. And then we have the rate at which that occurs, which will be over here, will be dependent upon the player's investment into that. So a much better endless system from what I had earlier, which is just eventually you hit really fast scaling. This is as long as you can keep up a certain rate of kills based off the investment of the system that you have, or the system as a whole will increase the player's scaling of their levels and also the enemy scaling for the levels. And you can independently scale on which ones you want. So if you're just predominantly looking to do a endless mission and have just, how high can you get enemies to, you can focus into the enemy XP decrease instead of the player XP decrease. And then this way it allows me to have the ability to have lower cost on each of the individualized tiers so that the player can have better investment into either of them or into any of the sectors that they want to. We're slowly getting there with things. We're slowly getting there. It's just, it's slowly forming up the systems and then not being happy with the system I made and then just slowly thinking of things. You gotta make all the bad systems before you make the systems you're happy with, you know what I mean? You gotta get through all the bad ones. Let's see, soul tick default was 60. You feel that? You doing video editing, you definitely can feel that. You definitely can feel that in video editing. It's so fucking painful. It's so rewarding when you get it done and you get to look at the end result, but the road there is littered with pain. Okay, so I can give you a little demo here real quick. This should be in a stable spot to do so. So this is what the base values of everything will look like, and this is just initial scaling for a player too. So when you're actually, you know, we'll say quote unquote just starting out the game, but if you haven't touched how you scale, let's put it that way. Because I'm playing a character right now that's level 100,000, so a bit of a difference there. But as you can see in the beginning, you have a fairly quick overall leveling just to kind of get you going and get you some levels, but it does taper off fairly quick afterwards. You had 3 different intro styles before you settled on the AC6. Jesus, man. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And as you can already see, we're already slowing down at around 28. 28 for soul levels, which would be player level and enemy level. It's going by quickly, but it still is slowing down gradually. And as it keeps going, it'll slow down more and more. Now that you have a remote idea, as you can already see, that is starting to slow down. That tick rate is going slower and slower. So now that you've seen something like that, if we were to say on a grand scale, a player wanted to put in a very large amount of investment, we can have something like this, which is your kills per second is set to 1. So as long as you kill 1 mob per second, it'll activate fast scaling. Your tick is at a 30th of a second, and the division is essentially whatever the XP to level is divided by 100 for the set. And then you can see how much faster we'll have scaling here for both the enemy and the player. Is that, are you working? Are you working? I don't think it's working. Oh my lord, why aren't you working? Oh, I know why it's not working. You know why it's not working? That's because the default values are being reread over here. So let me go ahead and cancel these out right here, and we'll open this. We still got to make the buttons for all these so that values like this can actually hold. Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on that part. There we go. There we go. And that would be a faster, as you can see how the mobs flood in faster and everything. So that's what we've been slowly working on, trying to figure out and everything throughout the scaling as a whole for the first mission. You know, this is the most simplistic of missions you'll have in the game, but I still want to make something that feels pretty good. And that's what I've been trying to do, which is, it's, you know, when you have a game with just the objective is kill as many mobs before you die, to make that feel good is always a little bit of a challenge there. So this is where my starting foundation has overall come with it so far. Before I would take on any projects, that would be a much later thing. I'm not in a position to do reasonable work per hour, in my subjective opinion right now. But yeah, that's where we currently have ourselves at with these scaling right now. So it's we're in a good position with it. We're learning the things we need to learn and all of that. So I'm actually extremely happy with that. But yeah, that's definitely, that would be a, well, I wouldn't say no to it, but I would only say yes to it if I feel like I could be within reasonable time worth your money and investment. Because yeah, that would be the best way to put that. I haven't coded in 15 years, and I'm about 6 months into using this engine. So I'm like just at the point to where I'm comfortable with what I'm doing and being able to explain what I'm doing. That's where I'm at with this. It's essentially, you know, like with any job, after working in it for 6 months, you're usually in a pretty capable position as long as you have kind of like focused yourself correctly. You know, kind of reminds you of balloons. You know, I never thought of that, but I could see a tower defense kind of feel to it. I mean, you can move the character around. The overall like standing still thing is just kind of like my baseline testing, but you can move the character around and all that. Like, I actually have reasonable movement speed on this character, and if you kite correctly, you can actually be able, once you get mob cap up, you'll be able to kite the mobs around. So if you give me one moment here to get these mobs up. Oh, that's right, I have these set to default values, don't I? Okay, but yeah. I can still give you a reasonable display here. And if you need to, this would actually be more of the preferred way to go for a endless run, because you're avoiding a significant amount more damage. You are still taking damage, but you are avoiding a lot more of it. So I designed this map essentially to be just big enough to kite mobs around, but also just small enough to kind of feel claustrophobic and have to make you move in a very precise way to not screw yourself up. Because if you hit these objects accidentally, they'll slow you go. And as you keep with the scaling going up higher and higher, that's going to become more of a problem. You're going to have to be more on point with your movement overall. But I actually do have plans at one point in time for a tower defense game. That is definitely happening. Trust. Tower defense is definitely happening. I love me some tower defense. In the meantime, you're gonna go to sleep? Sounds good, Sci-Fi. You take care, homie, and thank you so much for stopping by, as always. I hope you feel better. Get all that important rest so we can get the limbo back. What's up, Paranel? How you doing? You're lurking while you grab dinner? Well, thank you so much. We're doing good. Working on the faster scaling system for the player and the enemy and such like that. This will actually be a system the player can invest points into and all that to make things scale faster, both their own experience and also the enemy and such. So that's what we're working on right now. We have all the base fundamental logic down. Now I need to make the buttons for it so that the player can actually scale each of the ones up that they want to, and then also make reset buttons for each of those as well. Back when Miniclip was a thing. God, I haven't heard that name in ages. Am I thinking correctly on that? Hold on. Yeah, holy shit. Wow, that was Tencent owned. Didn't know that. Parent organization, Tencent. Wild. I did not know that. Why would you look at that? Tencent owns everything. Oh, Lord. Alright, let's create these buttons. Tencent? Damn, yeah, man. Tencent everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. It don't surprise me none. Let's go ahead and save this real quick here. Baker, you're not gonna open the... No, I'm just gonna close the fucking engine down and I'm gonna reopen the damn thing. That's what I'm gonna do, because the last time I just tried to open, it just took like 65 years, and I feel like it's just gonna be shorter for me just to close this engine altogether. I feel like my computer was gonna have a stroke just closing the engine. Give me a moment. They'll start owning the water you drink and the air you breathe. You're really tempting. You're really tempting Daddy Tencent. You're really tempting Daddy Tencent there, huh? The good old on and off, yeah. Yeah. I guess this was the this was a mistake too. I don't... Shit, fucking engine in this computer. It's just this computer, it's not the engine. It is definitely just the computer. This fucking computer is a piece of shit. It works good, don't get me wrong, it's great, it's awesome, but if you want to make games on it, you're not gonna like yourself if you want to make changes, and then you want to save those changes on a different file, and then you want to open up the other file that you had originally. What I usually have to do is, this is the annoying part, what I usually actually have to do. I usually just have to save it again. Like, save it in the other file that I originally want to open, so this way it's like I'm just over there. But I don't want to do that because that runs fucking write space and shit on my, or write, you know, or, what would we call it? Well, we all know an SSD or a hard drive in general can only write so many times before it fails, and that's what I'm doing more and more, is writing more and more shit into it over and over, doing that, and I really just don't want to be doing that. The hard drive, like the PC itself, is already 5 years old. I don't need to be putting more stress on it. The thing has gotten me world records in Warframe and the top 200 placing in COD Zombies fucking headshots for Black Ops Cold War, like this, and balloons, like 450 rounds of fucking balloons, endless. Yeah. No, this poor thing. And I think I've done a 45-hour fucking Vampire Survivors or some shit like that. The issue with Vampire Survivors is eventually the mobs become so fast that they skip frames, so that you can go through things like defensives and stuff like that. That's the main problem with that game. Okay, so let's make a button here. Let's make a buttons. Alright, where do we want the buttons? Where do we want the buttons? Oh, Baker, where do you want your buttons to be? Do you want them to be in the game? Or do you want them to be in the potion store? You can make all your in-game buffs in the potion store if you really want. You have a little fucking place for it and everything you could have, and just go there and click the fucking buttons there. Could have that. You could have that. Like, you could actually have that. Do you want that, though? I don't know if I want that. Kinda sounds like a good idea. Is closer to life support? Yeah. Yeah, I try to keep her together the best I can. Do we have something like that? I don't know if you've seen the new buff system, but this is how you actually make buffs now. You can select, you don't have slots anymore, you can only select the certain ones from, you can select any of the stats you want. You can actually enter in values that you want to enter in. And the buff limit is actually now the total amount of buffs that you, like individual buffs that you can bring in, so it just makes more sense to how everything works and all that. But yeah. Yeah, it's actually a much better system. Much better system. Will the game come with a story or not? Yes, it will. There will be an overarching story to the whole thing. It's not going to be a game with nothing, with no substance to it. It won't just be like a mindless killing game and mechanics and such. There will be some lore behind it and everything. And don't feel like I may have already answered a question. If you have questions about the game, always feel free to ask. If you don't know, you don't know. Could I and should I? Could I and should I? And should we make a third object to become interactable with for this? By the way, was it you, Paranel, that asked me at one point in time, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, that asked me if I ever thought about having fights that weren't without, or that were without the whole party, like just one mob or one player, not the whole like solo party system. Was it you that asked me that at one time? I can't remember who asked me that. It was like, that was a while ago. The being asked before is what made me think of it. Let's see here for a moment. Where do we want to put you? Because we could put you here. I could put it there. And it would kind of like... it would kind of fill up the menu right, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like this would just kind of perfectly fill up the menu and make it just feel right. As opposed to like if we put it over here, anywhere here, it just doesn't feel right. We could make another thing here, but it just kind of doesn't make sense. So like I feel like where it feels the best and looks the best is going to be within the missions themselves. and only have it within your endless missions for actually loading it in. Just like I do with the auto reset. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Okay. Because I'm always trying to think of, like, it's not so much about just like making a system that sounds good on paper, it's about also placing it into an area within the game that makes sense to the player. Like automatically. It doesn't even have to be a thought to them. It's just like they see it and they're like, oh, that makes sense, that's there, I like that. Okay, cool. Now I know where that is, you know. And you don't really tell the player, oh, hey, this is here. You more just kind of leave it open for them to find it within a means that they naturally would find it, so that they feel like they have discovery to things, but it's discovery that they don't have to fly across the world for, so to speak. It's more discovery that they find within their backyard. And it allows us, a player, to just look at systems, learn system, and pick them up within a kind of like a pace for them to feel it out. Because like I said, we're only going to have this in endless missions, so when they open up the endless missions, they'll see that. They'll be able to sit there for a while in the pause menu because they don't have to stress about dying. They'll be able to read and really just intake the entire situation there, and then just experience endless for what it is, and then kind of figure things out on what they want to do and all that. And then, you know, through later investment of the game, they start to understand like the value behind how they need to separate each one in order to maximize whatever they're looking for. It's pretty much like give them easy discovery, but allow them to have the freedom of the hard mastery, if you will. I just want to close some windows and free up space. But every time I click on an X, I get a throbber through 300 minutes a day. What's a throbber, Baker? It's the damn loading screen thing whenever you do something. You know, like whenever you load into a mission, you get the little circle thing that goes around like that. Yeah, that's called a throbber. Congratulations, you have to live with that too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Look at it. It's a throbber. Oh, let's live with it. Oh. Oh, just bask in the knowledge of the disturbing name. Oh. I just wanted to close the workspace because I knew it was very crowded. But here we are. Baker, is it? Baker, are you telling me that's not responded? It's not responded. Give it a minute. Give it a year. Give it a century. I believe in you, computer. I have the utmost of faith in you. You know? Like, I bet you're just gonna ram straight through it. You're gonna have all the power that you need. And you're gonna find the source of everything. Yeah. 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 And you'll have the intake to just have all the flow that you need. Just processing so fast. Alright, I'm done being nice. Can you hurry up, you piece of shit? Huh? I did this to myself. To be completely fair. I should have closed this workshop earlier, but this is like 3 days of a workshop being open and working on like 6 different things, like systems. So there's like probably like 30 to 40 plus fucking things of just objects open and all of their code. Not the wisest thing for me to do. Like, I know better than to do that. I know what I should be doing is finishing a patch of what I need to do and then saving it and then opening up a new workspace and then continuing on from there before I open up another batch of like objects and make new objects and everything. I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But you see, what I did was not that. Instead, I was stupid. And I just let it go for days and days and days. And I worked on the potion room. I worked on the last bits of the library. And then I came into the main room, into the first mission room to work on all the scaling. And I did all of that. In like one fucking workspace. Thank you. You see, I had to just come to acceptance. Okay, sometimes acceptance is all it takes for you to win. Once you have acceptance in your failures, sometimes that's just the breakthrough you need. Oh, Lord. Alright, where do I keep these files? Where do I keep all this stuff here? Value reset, auto reset. Okay, let's make another group within this thing here and call this one reset. And then actually let's call this bot reset, right? Bot reset. That sounds like a better group name. Okay, and then we want one more, and we'll call this scaling buttons, I guess. Scaling buttons. That sounds good. That sounds like a good name. Okay. We can kind of take something with this, right? If I'm thinking correctly, we can take something with that. Let's bring you up. Let me take a look at this. Oh, we're gonna get ourselves ready for a break, but I'm thinking we can do something with that then. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 values. And we have 3 things here. We have an auto. Let me just pull up the I can actually just set this. I don't know why I wasn't thinking to just do that. Soul tick counter, we'll call it 1. Soul tick, I'll call it 2. Enemy XP, we'll call it 100. And we'll call player XP there too. Okay. Now this should load up the values accordingly. And I shouldn't have to worry about the fact that I have that there. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready for a break here. When I come back, we're gonna continue on with getting this done. I love the new scaling. I love the new scaling. It feels so fucking good. We're gonna make it so the player can get there. They're gonna have to grind for it, but they're gonna be able to see this. I fucking love it. We are slowly figuring this out, man. It is feeling good. It is feeling good, I'll tell you that much. Anyways, do remember, we only run breaks during my support stream and when I do ad breaks. Other than that, we don't run ad breaks at all, or ads at all. So definitely be sure to stick around and support the stream by... what's the word I'm looking for here? Enjoying your ads about Call of Duty skins, World of Warcraft private servers, CSGO skins, and your favorite botting site for quick power leveling. Enjoy the ad breaks with that. I think it's about the best way that I can put it, and I thank you so much for doing so. And we'll see you all when I come back from the break. Okay, everybody, I am back. Do apologize for taking a little bit longer there. My head is still just not being friendly to me today. I'm a bit mentally exhausted to be doing commentary and such, but I need to work, so I deal with the longer med breaks. Or I deal with the more frequent ones and such. As long as I get work done. As long as I get work done. Let's just duplicate you. And we're gonna call this object soul. Oh, my OCD is not gonna. No. There we go. Oh boy. Baker, is that why you capitalize everything with all of this? Even though it's actually better practice to not capitalize things as frequently? Yeah. Yeah, it's because of OCD. It will bother me otherwise. And it will bother me to the point to where it would become more inefficient for me, unfortunately. One moment. Because, like, it's something that'll just sear into my fucking brain, and it'll just sit there until I fix it. It could be weeks later, and it'll still just randomly come up, be like, hey, you remember that thing you didn't capitalize? Yeah, I'm gonna be here all day reminding you about it. It's like, oh, why? Why? Why are you doing that? Please don't. Okay. Should be an empty draw. And then I'm gonna call you souls per second. Maybe? Is that what I want to call you? Souls per second. Why do we have a -10 on here? What do we do? Oh, we did middle and then we just... Why? Why didn't you just do top and bottom? I'll forgive you for right now, Baker. That was the old you. It's not gonna... It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But it isn't something that I would do nowadays. Instead, I would have these done by top and bottom, and then they would sort themselves out like that. I wouldn't use Y minus, and then just do a middle alignment. Essentially do a middle alignment, and then to offset it into the correct position, minus the direction that I choose to go into. Wouldn't usually do that. It would just be X, Y, and then these, which these are kind of weird. This would be bottom alignment to have it come up on the top, and then it would be top alignment for the bottom end. Middle, of course, middle. So if you have something big enough to where you could have fit 3 of the values in there, you'd be able to do that. And then if you wanted to, you have these left and right center, all that for extra things. So if you have like a unique interface where you have like a bunch of different things, you have the ability to place essentially 6 different things, more or less. Yeah, something like that. Wait, more than that. Be 3, 6, 9, 9. 9 different things. Okay, let's see, we have soul counter here, and we want to call this like souls per second. And we're gonna go bottom with that, and then that, like that. We can make it large. Well, we should just souls per second. Or fast scaling. Kind of give me a base idea of what I'm looking at here. We want to make sure this thing isn't inheriting any of this noise, so we're just going to give it empty things. Not really the biggest fan of doing something like that, but I need these values. Do we actually? Or could we just... Oh, hold on, I need to put this on my, on the UI. You know, it ain't gonna find it if it ain't there. We can't look at it. I don't know if y'all knew, but we can't look at something that isn't there. Shit is crazy. Unbelievable. Okay, concept is there. Concept is there. It will do a little bit here. Cause I kind of just... I want a little bit of separation between them. It's kind of... not minus, this is plus 3. Stupid ass. This is minus 3. I want a little bit of spacing between them. The boxes aren't final assets, so I don't really care about that. Like, it can look a little wonky in the box if it wants, I don't really care. The box ain't gonna be there. Yes, there's just a tiny bit more spacing to it. Tiny bit more. I was thinking 5 was gonna be good, but I was kind of hesitant. And that should be perfect. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That looks better. Alright. I know it looks weird with the box and everything. I get it. Gotta do it here. Here, let's do this. Let's do this, yeah. We can do that. There. I can do this. Come on. Let me do that. There, see? Better? There we go. Look, see? That's why I have the boxes like they do. Is if my OCD is really going and I'm like, I have to just make this thing look good, it's very easy for me just to adjust it. It's just scale sizing, and it looks fine either way. So, that's why I have these placeholders like that. Boxes are phenomenal placeholders. Basic shapes are always great placeholders because you can scale up and down really easy with them. I'm going to switch this back to draw self because I already know I'm going to probably forget about that. Okay. So here, this is soul counter. Now when we click it, what do we want to do with it? What do we want to do with it? What is this thing? Soul counter is how many kills we need to get. So this is something that caps at 1. So it starts at 100. So we can give this 100 tiers if we so want to. And we'll have all the buttons just be increases, and we'll set a general reset to it. I know we could do otherwise, but I feel like that's just going to kind of be the best way to handle it. I feel like the other stuff is like, it's usable, but I generally would feel like if the player is going to be resetting the thing, they're just going to reset a whole flat thing and want to redo the values altogether. That's what I would guess. I mean, I could set individual resets, I guess, for each one. Could do that. I guess it wouldn't take long to do that, so yeah, I can do that. I can probably do that, as long as the UI doesn't get too cluttered. I think that's going to be the main thing behind it, is like keeping the UI populated, but not overly populated. It's going to be the main thing. Okay, so this one, we want to do if player level that is the same thing that I used, correct? Totally not where I want to be right now. Reset increase. Do something like that. Pause level. See? This is why we have other code to look at real quick. Pause level. I knew it was something different. Not less than. This is going to be a greater too. Thank you. We'll say 100. Just to give us a test. I feel like 100 would make sense in a general regard. 100 for each one, you give 100 ranks. And 10,000 levels. Right? I'm stupid. I'm stupid, but I'm gonna just double check because I'm stupid. Yeah, 10,000. Yeah, no, that's actually reasonable. I can go with that. Just flat 10,000, flat 100 for each one. And this way your first point into it. Yeah, yeah. We can do this 100, and then we can also do... we can set these something like that too. I think with this whole thing we can essentially do a 100 on it. 100 for each point. So you have like 10,000, 6,000. Yeah, I think this would be like, in order to have this fully at a really nice, at a decent spot, you'd probably have to invest like 15,000 points then. Or not 15, but 25,000. 25 to 30. Okay. These are all really late game things. A lot of these things aren't going to, like, these little systems that I've been adding, they're not going to be, like, absolutely mandatory to complete the baseline of the game, but when it comes to beating, like, hard modes and everything like that, these type of systems are going to be more required for you to get your levels that you need. But the baseline of the game, you're going to actually be able to just kind of naturally play through the game in each mission, and you're you're pretty much going to have enough to get you by into the next mission. Is how I have it set up. It won't be like insanely easy if you do it like that. You don't take your time to kind of farm things out, but there is going to be that option for it pretty much. You know, to where it's like going into an endless mission, you're not going to be sitting in endless missions for like 7 hours in order to do like the next non-endless mission and such. Probably didn't hear me there. Bless you if you hear me now. Anyways, so what we want to do then, we can set up a few things here. Thank you. No problem. Let's see. And then we do soul counter, and we can -1 from that. -1. One other thing. We need one more check behind this. If soul counter is greater than 1. Actually, should we allow a player? I mean, essentially 1 is 0. Isn't it? Isn't 1 0 at the end of the day? Or do we let the player go to 0? Just, that bitch is just on. It's just on. I mean, essentially at 1 it's on. If you're killing 1 mob a second in a game like this, where your entire party together consists of projectiles shooting at around 1800 rounds a minute, so, or spells a minute. I mean, that's, yeah. And then you have mobs spawning in at a 30th of a second, and there's 25 of them spawning at a time. Well, at least in this current map. Yeah, no, we're gonna leave it like that. I know that was a lot of thought for something so simple, but you know, that's kind of how things are. You always want to make sure you really think of everything. As much as you can. Think as much as you can. Because there's no such thing as thinking of everything. Definitely, you're always going to miss something. But... okay, good. So we can't click that. That's what we wanted. Now we're going to reset this over to 100. And we're going to make sure we can drop points. But it's always important to think as much as you can. And as you continue to keep thinking as much as you can, you'll broaden your ability to think of scenarios. There we go. Good. No, we don't have enough points. We got 40 left after. We're sitting good. Alright, awesome. So if we gave ourselves... Oh. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. That's not gonna save. I'm like 100. That's... I don't even gotta check. I'm 100%. That's not gonna save. Give me a moment here. Stupid. It's important to make sure that your levels actually get updated. Otherwise, when you close, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing. And I could just make it all a temporary system. I mean, in theory, actually, I could just make it a temporary system. But I feel like that might get annoying for the player. Like, if these are like really endgame system, it means typically there's going to be reoccurring using these within a time period, because there's going to be like set time put aside to it. And having anything reset is just going to be fucking annoying at that point. You don't want to deal with it. So... Alright. Now... we needed 10,000 for everything. That feels annoying. Can we just figure out a hold on it? Hold on. Give me a moment. Okay. Almost there. There We're getting there. Okay. Okay, hold on. I got it. I think I got it. Like that. I think I did it. I don't think I need it. Hold on. I don't think we need this. Not sure. I don't need it. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's so painful. Why? Okay, we just enter in a value then. At that rate. We'll just enter in a value. That's all. We'll just use the same system we used for everything else there. We just enter in a value, I guess. That's gonna make more sense. Yeah, it's gonna make more sense than having the player click like crazy. Okay. Alright. I mean, I guess we could just set it to 10 and just allow them to click 10 times. Right? And this way a player doesn't have to do the math in their head and stuff. They just click it. I want to be able to hold click though. Okay, good. I can bring myself down to 100. Alright. I saw that minus 100 too. That was because of that. Which makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think it just had a loop. No? Why? Oh. Oh, that's why. Yeah, it just crashed. Let me see. Okay. Let's try something simple. There. Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked in a sense. It crashed the game, but it worked mathematically. Like, it actually set it down to 1. It did work. Can't say it didn't. Oh, it's working too well again. Oh. Oh, we're there. Ah. Oh, we did it. Okay. This did not work the way I wanted it to, though. Alright. We did it, though. We got it to do it. I don't really like it. I'm gonna take a break here. We're gonna think on this, on how to have this better. Or probably just have enter and value yourself. Probably work the best way around it. But remember, we only run ads during breaks and such like, and support streams, so your lurks and all of that during those times are much appreciated and keeps the stream running as it is. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel and give the stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. But we will leave you all up with some gameplay. I'm gonna adjust that. Okay. I'll leave you all with some gameplay while I go take a break here. And like I said, when we come back, we're going to continue trying to figure this out. I'm actually going to... Yeah, I want to equip this one here. This is like the really long run one. So I'm curious to see what this looks like. Anyways, we'll see you all when I come back from the break. Alright, everybody, I am back. Do want to thank y'all that did stay around for the break. Go. Go ahead and turn ads off. Let me refresh that. Okay. Let's see here. So we want to have this as an interim. I'm just thinking of other things, like what if the player hovers their mouse off while it's on there, they're not going to be able to enter. So what we're going to do is this. This is what we're gonna do. Let me come over here to this. What is this? Here it is. Needed this. Okay, it was click true. I thought so. Click true. And then clicked false was down below. Okay. And then it was hovering and then, okay. And then we're gonna call to this here. We're gonna make a variable called level counter. Call that true now. Alright. I think it'd probably be smart to just come over here. Not here. Here. Come over here. Into this. Open this. Wrong one. This one. Open this. And then we can just copy the whole thing and we'll just fix it. But it gives us our fundamentals. I don't undo this. So what we're doing is when we click this, it'll make it true. It'll make this value called level counter true. And when that does, this will enable here and make it so that we can enter in the values freely. And you know, it's not dependent off having any hover or anything like that. We'll say here, just so we have a way to toggle, right? Just so we have a way to toggle, nice and easy. Okay. My brain is frying right now, but we are going to keep working, even if I gotta take the breaks like I did earlier. Last stream. It doesn't matter. I have taken far too many days off trying to do this as full-time, and I really won't accept it anymore. I'm just going to push through it. I'm going to get done what I can as much as I can. I won't lie, I'm just really disappointed with how little coding I've gotten done since I've tried to do streaming. But only one way to fix that. Only one way to fix that. And it's not by not streaming. That has to happen. So it's the grind upwards. It'll get easier as time goes on. I've done a 40-hour session of coding already on this game, so I mean, I did take breaks and such. It was like every few hours I'd take like a 30-minute or so break, but still. Okay, so when this is true, Okay. Resetting crew. Oh, that's right. We opened it over here. Okay, so we want level counter. Let's just make sure that we get all of that going appropriately. Like, when we get down here, we'll get down here, but so far we're doing what we need. So this is less than 1, which we want. Then we have this one here. It is greater than temp. So and this deletes. Okay, so this could be... So essentially what we could do... the value was 1,000 per, correct? I think we were doing 1,000. We'll just say we're doing 1,000, right? So we'll say value counter times 1,000 is greater than pause level, then delete. And this allows the player to not be able to type in more than their level. What the hell was that? That was a really big firework. Random ass hour for it. I'll do enter here, and we'll say if true, when you hit enter, it'll make it false. And this is just so if the player wants to finalize it with enter, they'll be able to do so, or they can click it again. It's up to them. Okay. You had an arrow there. Able to convert. Yeah, well, I understand why you can't. But is it if it's greater than 0? Possible that I may have to do this right here. Oh, let's see. Oh, it is orange. They're empty because we just don't want anything running. Oh, I see what I did wrong there. I was wondering here. Things are like, my brain was like, this is not correct. You know this, right? Like, I know it is. I just don't. My brain doesn't know how. special level of stupid sometimes. Absolutely special level of stupid. Again. Unable to convert string if step action for soul counter, correct? Soul counter. Greater than 1. Jesus Christ. Just stop. Stupid. Huh? Oh, I hit escape. Okay, we're still getting a fucking error. If soul counter again. Over 1. Wait, what? If soul counter less than 1. Oh. I have to figure out how to get this to be up here, but to not throw an error, because if it's at 0, then it throws an error. It does. Possibly could do it. It only occurs once, so it's the same as a... Fuck. Should have been the same as a crate. may have figured it out. We're getting closer. Okay, we got it to disappear. It's getting closer. Same error, unfortunately. It's something's happening, okay? Alright. I feel like this is gonna throw an error. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is gonna throw an error. I'm willing to be wrong. Definitely throw an error. Different error though. Is this error, which makes sense. This error is this error. I just wanted to say. And if you're wondering what do I mean by that error is that error, it's more or less the same thing. It's saying that it can't convert the string of this number or of this value into a number, which is the same thing as this. It can't convert the string to a number. And that is because the number is 0, or actually blank. There is no number there, it's essentially infinite. It doesn't read it. I mean, there is an infinite value in here, but yeah. I think I'm gonna head off here for right now. I'm gonna go grab myself some food, because food right now sounds amazing. Sounds absolutely amazing. And depending on how I feel, we will be back later. More than likely, because I don't really feel too tired, but we'll see. So. Okay. If anyone's wondering, how big is your game right now currently, Baker? It is 32.7 megs. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But let me go ahead and get a support stream up and running. Let's see. Let's get this up. West support stream. Okay. That over. Okay. And let me get all these windows put over here. This way, nothing interferes with that. Okay. Well, I forgot to record and I forgot to turn down my volume. That sucks. That actually sucks. Okay, let me go ahead and get a support stream started. All I can do is just be better about it next time. All I can do, be better about it next time. Alright, I'll get you all sent over there, and when I start up my stream later on, I will go ahead and get you all redirected, so feel free to lurk about. In the support stream, I will have old VODs playing, so you can enjoy those in the meantime. But as always, I do want to thank you all for coming around, chilling, and showing all the love that you do show. And I do hope you all take care. Stay safe, stay humble, be open, and as always, never stop searching. Peace, everybody.